My parents are hands down some of the strongest, most capable, willing, and giving people that I've ever met. Their fortitude, their commitment, their discipline is unrivaled compared to many. And I will tell you that my parents always did the best that they could. What's interesting is that with a trauma like this, the majority of families who go through things like this end up in divorce, separation, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Because yes, I was the one that had the injury, but the trauma impacted everyone in the house, right? My brother witnessed it. My mom witnessed it, right? Things that they saw, I'll never see. You know, this was back in the days before cell phones, right? So my dad literally got bounced by phone calls to 4 different hospitals because he didn't know where we were or even what had happened to him, right? And so there's all these things that bubble up. And so their strength and commitment to focus upon something bigger than themselves, which was the repair of their son, it was something that though I couldn't have articulated as a kid, it's really evident to me now that they made a choice to get through this however it was going to look. And to do whatever was required to, again, give me a chance to have a normal or normative type life and transition, which I would say largely has been the case. And so they allowed me to stay on path with the recovery physically to a place that I really understood. And again, the concept of embracing pain to avoid suffering came through all this. I would say they absolutely ingrained the ability for me to know that I can set my mind to anything and accomplish it. The flip side to that is that I started to believe that mindset was the only thing I needed. When I shut off physical pain, I shut off mental pain, emotional pain, and spiritual pain for 20 to 25 years and didn't even know it. Because I had a smile on my face and because I was tough and went through all these things, nobody thought I needed to go to therapy. Nobody thought I needed to unpack the trauma that I went through. And everybody was like, oh, Brian's good. I was treated physically only. And the underlying elements of shame, anger, resentment, frustration that weren't clear or understood, many of which were connected to the accident and dynamics of my physical experience with my parents, that is what almost cost me everything and everyone I ever cared about. I say this because I love and respect my parents, but they did not grow up in a generation and neither one of them grew up in households where emotions were talked about. When people come with trauma, and I can trace our triggers back 3 generations, I understand now today and can see the pattern and reasons why my parents operate the way they do. OCD, the perfectionism, the control, it all creates safety. Both my parents had really crazy childhoods that got carried forward. Mindset, I think, was the predominant focus, which served me to heal physically. I wasn't given the other tools to navigate those other parts of ourselves. And I have to also say that's not my parents' fault. It's largely a byproduct of the time I grew up in and the world that we live in, which says to push through and push down pain at any cost. Show up with a smile on, be happy, but we also know the ramifications of that.